Welcome to Tower Gardening Made Easy, and I'm Sherry. If you're new here, thank you so much for coming by, and make sure you tap that button below to grow our community. Today we're going to get right into it. We have a lot to do, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So I have a couple things I want to do today. I want to unbox something from Amazon. I think it's some lights, but let's just take a look. And then we have some harvesting to do. As you can see, the summer squash right here is falling off. So we're going to go ahead and harvest that. And then I have some unbelievable black king mushrooms that we're just going to harvest down here real quick. I'm going to probably cook this up for dinner. So let's get started. So what do we do with the box first? All right, so come on over here. I'm so excited that we get to use our new room because it has a sofa in it and some pillows, and we get to sit here and look at the box. I'm just going to angle you guys down just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. All right. Box of Amazon. Let's go. So as you know, we're going to be building a big nursery on that wall. If you saw my last video, getting kicked out, moving into the new space, it's going to go right there to my left, and I will post that video right here for you guys to check out. But I got a rack that's coming that's monster, and it's going to allow us to do some really incredible things to grow a lot of seeds, because we've got a lot of grow net pots and baby green sections that we're going to fill out. So I needed to order another spider light. So of course these boxes are like impossible to get into. Gonna have to use some brute force. So on that, in the nursery that I had in the other room, it has one clip-on light right now. So the mat that it's on can expand just a little bit more, and I needed another set. So this is, I call it a spider light. That's not really the real name, but it's just a wand of lights. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all this plastic off so we can kind of see. So we can kind of go through. And it's very similar, like the cord that's on this is very similar to the tower lights. So they just bend at will. Make sure you take the plastic off. I actually saw someone in a group the other day that put their towers together that left the plastic, they folded it down. And I was like, you probably should take that off. So, and of course they're gonna be a little difficult. All right, yeah. All right, I think we're gonna need scissors. All right. So, for the love of God. Okay, that's one. I think I'll do this one a different way. We'll go down. Ha, voila. All right. All right, last one. All right, so these lights come in 4 and 6. They might even come a little bit bigger, but personally, I like the 4. The 6 is a little too much, probably too heavy. Now, this guy comes with a timer, and the setting is 12 hours, 8 hours, or 4 hours. 12 hours is fine. You want this to turn off when you go to bed, wherever you live in the world, and turn on first thing in the morning, just because the plants, you don't want them on 24/7. They got to have some downtime too. So what I love about this is it has a clip. And this clip can clip onto your nursery, but it can also, I had suggested this to somebody in a Facebook group, that they had an area on their tower that wasn't doing well. So you can actually attach this to, say, the bottom of the, let's try it out. Like, so for instance, I'm not going to do this, but I'm just going to do this for demonstration process. They don't need it because there's plenty of light here, but sometimes with the canopy, you get something that's really just, just not getting what it needs. So look at that. It snaps right on. It's just a clip. And then you can take these and angle the lights any way you want. Okay? They bend just like these guys bend. So it just gives the tower if that's where you're angling it, just a little more light if something's out, shadowing. So I love them. So, but for me, they're going to go on the back side of the rack, on the back side of the nursery, where I can just, kind of have them and angle them where I need them, because the beans, for instance, in the other video, in this tower, and you can just see how tall they are, and they need this trellis. They grew up really fast, and they got out of that little grow house, that little nursery, that has its own lights to it, and so I have to take the top off. So that's where these spider lights come in. So this is an amazing purchase. Again, I'm not trying to sell you things you don't need, but I'm telling you from my experience that these are very versatile. And so, even if you have a house plant that's suffering, you could snap this right onto a cabinet. I'd probably put a towel in there so you don't harm the cabinet, but it will do the job. It will definitely do the job. So I want to say they're $30, $40, something like that. But this is one of my favorite products. I really, really love it. And if it wasn't for the snap, it's pretty heavy duty. It's awesome. All right, so let's get right into some harvesting. All right, so when the rack comes in, I don't know if I'll build that on camera, but we'll definitely get that up and going and get all of the other stuff from the nursery on there. And then maybe what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a tour on the nursery and how I've got it set up so that you can emulate it. And the website I'll be working on again. I promise I'm just a little behind because we had to move. So maybe this weekend I'll sit down and crank that out. But it'll ever be evolving, because I'm sure I'm going to be making changes. And if you guys have any something specific that you want in the website, like reviews or comment, we could definitely build that in there. Because again, this is all about you. This is all about the community, and I'm just here as your navigation as to what you need. And let me, make the errors, like with the tower that I just built, earlier, that I took it apart off camera. I was frustrated. I'm like, I'm going to get this next section. I'm going to put it on that tower, because, when you put the lights on, it's too damn short, and I got extra pieces, and that means that it was like 8 extra grow net pots that I'm not able to use. It's going to sit on the floor. So that being said, we're here to grow food. All right. So let's get right into here. As you can see, my summer squash we need to harvest. Okay. He's really big. And I'm going to get you guys in here so you can see. He just needs to come out. And he's ripe. The color is very, very yellow. And remember how I told you that I was using these plastic tabs? That's huge, because you don't want the weight of this growing into this, I don't know, trellis, if you want to call it. Here's a good example. So here's one that did not get pollinated. You can kind of see, maybe not. All right, maybe what I'll do is I'll cut it and then show you. It didn't get pollinated. And so when they're not pollinated, they get brown. Okay, so you know that that's just not even viable. So we'll go ahead and throw that out. And the one next to it, the flower's not even open. And I can already see that it's not going to make it, but I'll leave it for a little bit. So let's focus on the positive. So I got to get in here underneath all of these gigantic leaves and find the stem to this bad boy. And there we go. So this, let me bring it out here. Once your summer squash or your vegetable, like a tomato, is pollinated, you're going to know, because they grow at such a massive rate. When they're not pollinated, they don't do very much. So I'm going to just measure this so you have an idea, because on camera that looks huge. This is 10 inches. Okay, 10 inches. And so that's pretty much a grocery store size of a summer squash. And I will cut this tonight and stir fry it into something. And it's just delicious. And it was grown here on this tower. I have a few more, but I don't want them to go to waste in my fridge. So I'll cut them one at a time. But that one needed to go, because it was just sitting on top of this, getting bigger and bigger. And I don't want it to lose its flavor. So the next thing I want to do is harvest the black kings. When I woke up this morning, they're huge. I went to bed and I was like, can they make it till morning? Because I don't know, you turn the lights out, you close the door, and 8 to 10 hours go by. And these things double in size. Like all mushrooms get huge overnight. They don't need the light, they just need a little bit, but they need to come off the substrate. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to swivel and we're going to pull them off right here. So let's go ahead over to the mushroom tent. And you can see in the boom room, these guys, how big they are. So let me just move this ladder. So this is when, remember I told you we're going to get a little table in here because I just need something to put things on. And I don't want to use this ladder. So it's kind of gross and dirty, but I'm going to wash the mushrooms anyway. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead and swivel you guys. I'm going to go ahead and unzip the tent, and then we'll go ahead and pull them off the substrate. Now, these came up fast. I mean, I just rewrapped these the other day. I mean, massive, right? Okay. So I'm going to zip this because I've got things that are blooming in here. So the Black King is a mushroom with a thicker stem, obviously. And let's see how we can do this here. Again, we will have a table soon. That won't be an issue. Get behind. You can see. We're doing this on a ladder, so I'm sorry. We're doing it old school here. We will have a table soon, I promise. You can just see what I'm doing. So the Black Kings, as you can see, the stem is really, really thick. And so when you cook them, they're very meaty. So if you like the meaty type of mushrooms, what would I compare it to? Maybe like a portobello. That's the texture. So you could go ahead and put these in stews, omelets. I would slice them really thin and cook them through. But these doubled in size last night, so they need to come off the substrate. And so this is the second crop of them. So I'm probably going to say goodbye because the next crop probably won't be as big. And I've got another shipment coming from Norse 4 because I'm part of their subscription. So I've got 3 fruiting blocks coming. So I'm going to go ahead and say probably goodbye to this guy. But first, let's take it off the substrate. And they are just yum, yum, and yummy. Look at, I'll put him down here. And then little guys down here. There's another one. And I mean, they grew like in 2 weeks. And another one. I cold shocked it. And that mushroom on the floor. And then the last one. And then rewrapped it. And they were very happy. But I can feel the fruiting block now. It's very, very dry. So how could you get this to go maybe one more time? I would submerge it in water for a couple of hours to get the moisture back into the fruiting block. And then you have to rewrap it and give it a little more, saran wrap up here. And you might get something, but you also might get some mold too. So I'm going to this is two really good harvest off of this. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to this fruiting block because again, I've got more stuff coming in the next week or two and I won't have enough room in the boom room. So that being said, we did the lights, we did the summer squash, we did the mushrooms. We got a lot done today. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we had a lot of really great things coming. And I'm so grateful for everyone who is watching and commenting. You guys are amazing. And I promise we got some really good stuff coming up. So please stay tuned. And if you need anything, please comment below, and I will see you in the next video.